I was like, Jack Danger's going to play pinball for 24 hours? I should do it with him. It'll be like a team-up thing. And then I realized, I don't want to play pinball for 24 hours. I love pinball, but I do not want to play pinball for 24 hours. Jack Danger, better man than I am, maybe. That's not the point. Episode 187 is going to be a special episode with a special guest, Kayla Greet from Skillshot Pincast, and all sorts of other stuff. Let's go. Welcome to Coast2Coast Pinball. My name is Nate Shivers. This is a podcast. It is a commentary. I'm a man out of quarters. How are you guys? Coming to you tonight, not live, from San Diego, California. Tuesday, August 18th, episode, 187. 187. Tonight, joined by the number 881st ranked player in the world. The woman who runs the Babes in Pinland tournament in the Northwest. She is part of the Skillshot Zine crew. She is one of the co-hosts of the Skillshot Pincast, and she and I thought it would be a great time to have her come on the show and chat about Seattle, chat about being a woman in the pinball scene, chat about the situation we had up at Dorky's Arcade, and all sorts of good stuff. This is a very fun interview. So Kayla Greet will be joining us here for 187. Without further ado, here we go. I would like to welcome tonight to Coast2Coast Pinball, Kayla Greet. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you, Nate?
I am really, really good. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it. We need more Seattle people coming on the show.
Definitely.
Seattle people. That's what I'm looking for here. How are things in the great Northwest?
Oh, they're pretty incredible. We have tournaments 5-6 days a week. We have
5 or 6 days a week?
Yeah.
I'm so jealous of that.
It's pretty ridiculous. We have a bar league that's in our 4th season, about to start up. So that's a team league where you have 10 players on a team, on a roster, and 4 rounds each Monday night. And there's 12 teams in the league, so they battle against each other.
It's like 120 people. I'm good at math.
Uh-huh. And they're all full.
That's so awesome. So is Seattle the West Coast champion of pinball?
I would say so, yeah. And getting it, talking to people outside of Seattle too, and having their impressions, definitely comes through that way too. We have something special here for sure.
It seemed that way at Pinburg, right? When we get down to the finals, and there's 2 Seattle guys
that are both 22 years old. Yeah.
I feel this wave of dominance coming from the pine trees, and I'm a little worried. No, that's good. That's awesome. I mean, I don't know if this is just a stereotype that I'm throwing out there, but I have family in Seattle. I know the Northwest pretty well. It rains a lot. We can all agree on that.
It does.
Pinball's indoors. That works out nicely.
For sure. But the thing people don't talk about is how incredible our summers are. We have 85 degree days. Yeah. But we don't talk about that. I don't care. You guys can stay wherever you are. We were already overgrown in Seattle with Amazon moving in.
Yeah, absolutely. So how long have you, Kayla, because you have a lot going on in pinball. You're part of the Skillshot Scene. You're part of the Skillshot Scene podcast. You are a top 900 player, as we verified. We know exactly where you are, ranked number 881.
All right.
You're heavily involved in the local scene. How did you find your way into pinball?
So it was about late 2008. I got fed up with my job, quit my job, and went traveling by train for 2 months because I had some savings.
By train?
Yeah. And when I came back, my boyfriend and my roommate at the time had found pinball, and they're like, we have a list of everywhere to go play in Tacoma, because I was living there at the time. So they just were like, we found pinball while you're gone because we were bored, and it's awesome. You should come play with us. And we had a big video game house. We had 10 stand-up arcade cabinets at our house already. We were called the Video Drone House.
So the retro gaming thing was strong with you already.
Yeah, definitely. We had ColecoVisions and televisions all over the place. We were just kind of this vintage retro arcade house. And they're like, we found out that pinball is as good, if not better. And I was like, all right, I'm in.
So did you play pinball when you were younger? Did you come back to pinball, or was this sort of the first hey, whoa, pinball?
I'm sure I did. I grew up on the East Coast in Maryland, and we'd go out to the boardwalk there all the time. And I'm sure I played some pinball. I have no memory of it, though. Like, this is my strongest memory of it is currently.
So, talk to me a little bit about the Seattle scene and how it's evolved since you got in. You know, that's 2008. You kind of got in when things were fairly down around the country.
Yeah, for sure. My first tournament was 2009, a powder puff tournament at Shorty's, and it was like I felt like, oh, I'll just do a women's tournament because it's a good entry level thing to kind of see where I was at. And I was still living in Tacoma at the time. I only moved to Seattle 5 years ago, and at that time there was the Shorty's annual, there was like Pinball in Portland, and there was just like these big tournaments that would happen. And Seattle Pinball League would happen once a month, and it still does. I think they're in their fifth or sixth season now. So that's where I started getting into tournament play. So I joined up with the Seattle Pinball League and just made it to every single match. That's how I had no idea that you could play pinball the way that people do until I joined that league.
It's
When
like
I
the
saw
first
like,
time you see like drop catching in person,
yeah,
it kind of
like
blows your mind a little bit.
watch Kaylee George post pass. I was like, what the hell is that?
He did that on purpose.
Yeah, uh-huh. So, I mean, like, we had so many top level players in the scene already, and just getting more people exposed to it and talking about it. Now we have Monday nights are bar leagues, Tuesday nights the flip off at John John's, Wednesday nights the weekly flip off at Adaball, which gets 50 players on average.
Jeez.
Like, I'm not even kidding. It's insane.
I think that's fantastic. Do you think that, you know, in-home pinball game ownership is really strong in Seattle like it is, say, in Southern California, or does it not occur as often because there's such good location pinball?
There's both. Because I've been in part of the Seattle Pinball League for 3 or 4 years now. I think this is my fourth year. And all of our meets are at private homes. Like, we get to go to Todd McCullough's house once a year, and he's got like 40 pins at his house, you know?
Yeah.
Like, James Eads has a good like 20 pins at his place. Like, all the places that we are going to either have at least 5, and then the other league members will transport games there to have enough for, we get 50 players at SPL every month too. So, like, there's quite the home collection as well.
Do you think when you have a scene that's that kind of already mature and fleshed out, that it's more, does it snowball? Do more people kind of fall into it and just get caught up in its inertia, or do you feel it's intimidating maybe for people to see this giant group of people playing pinball?
I think it's a bit of both, but way more of the snowballing. Because at first it is intimidating because you'll see people that just mesh with each other so well, and then some people that are just far and away better players, and you're like, holy crap! Like, I don't know, like, can I go hang out with those people? But the thing about the Seattle scene is it's so awesomely inclusive that you have no problem. Like, all of that just melts away as soon as you have one conversation with people. Like, people are just so super into pinball that if you are too, it doesn't matter where you came from, just don't be a jerk, you know?
Don't be a jerk. That's a good rule for pinball in general, I think.
Yeah. That's why I put on my women's tournaments, like, it has nothing to do with gender. It's like, all girls, no dicks. Yeah.
I see what you did there. Talk about the Skill Shot zine and how you got involved with that, because that's, I mean, 39 issues of a zine, and you know, I'm from a bit of a punk rock background, so I totally, you know, bow down and hands down to the zines. I love it. But to do that on pinball, it's a pretty big accomplishment to get that far into it. Tell me about how you joined up with those guys.
For sure. That's what drew me into is, like, I grew up in a punk scene forever. Like, I've been going to punk shows since I was like 12 years old, and I write for 2 punk magazines also. So we at the Northwest Pinball and Arcade Room show, I went to the first one and the second one ever in 2009. And that's where I first saw the Skill Shot guys, Brad and Gordon, as everyone in Seattle knows them. And they had started it with their friend Manser, back in 2007, I think. And they, like, Gordon also comes from a heavy punk background. Like, he did WDC Period back in DC, which was a like full-size newspaper size zine that he ran for a couple years and has been doing zines his whole life. So, you know, he got into pinball. It's just a natural progression. He's like, yeah, I'm just gonna make a pinball zine too. And I just, like, I became friends with them. I grabbed zines from them whenever I could to bring to Tacoma before I moved to Seattle. And I started coming to all the folding parties that we have, because we print out 2,500 copies every issue.
That's a lot of
But they,
paper.
yeah, it is. And we walk them the like 5 blocks from Gordon's apartment down to the lookout that's got 2 pins there. And so it's 3 folds to get it completely done. So 2,500 times 3, 7,500 folds. So we take our ad revenue and use that to pay for a free bar tab, like free PBR and free snacks for people that come and help fold. And most times we get it finished that night.
What's in the current? I know you guys are on issue 39. What's in the current skill shot?
We've got NBA Fast Break on the cover, and we've got RoboCop on the inside for the list, and then the bulk of it is news and gossip. And then I can't...
Gossip. Tell me about the gossip.
Yeah.
We must talk about the gossip.
Yeah. It's usually like, John John's is still closed right now. They're under renovations because John John's and Adaball were owned by these guys, Brad and not Brad and Gordon, but Brad and Travis. And they just actually sold John John's to another guy in the pinball scene. So that's been part of the gossip. Then it's, other things like this place, Lucky Liquor, just caught fire and 4 of the pins were damaged beyond repair. So it doesn't get too like personal because we don't want to, really like ruffle anyone's feathers. Yeah, exactly. But we'll have a few like winks and nods into things that we think are really funny and that people won't get too mad about, And it's kind of like, if you were there, you'll understand.
Does the zine ever widen the focus to sort of national pinball at all, or is it really mostly focused on Seattle?
It's pretty focused on Seattle because, it's 1/3 news and gossip, 1/3 a feature article, and then I guess the other third would be the list, which would really actually be the half. But, we distribute around Seattle. We have the inside list is all of the 432 games that you can play in Seattle.
Is that an exact number? There's 432 pinball machines to play in Seattle?
The last time I checked, yeah.
Wow, that's very cool.
It's pretty awesome. And we have quite a few all ages venues too, which is really great.
That is cool.
But we'll take, I think one of the last ones I did was like, I did an article on Bride of Pinbot because I love it. I've done an article on women in pinball. I've done, we've done how to play Guns N' Roses video mode, anything, little things like that. So.
Okay, so you're working with the zine, and the zine's a great creative outlet, and then comes the podcast, because everyone has to do a podcast, as I've documented on the show. We all have to have a podcast. It was your time to do the podcast. I've listened to, I think, probably half the episodes now.
Oh, cool.
And it's really, amazing that you have this city, the scene of Seattle that you can focus so much time to, and B, you've had a really good first, I think there's 7 episodes out with a few ready to go. You've had kind of a nice mix of people from like Kevin Burrell, now you just had Ed Robertson on. Where did you, I mean, Ed does everybody's show. But
that was so fun for us. Like,
it was awesome, right? He's a good dude.
Oh man, it was great.
So when did the spark idea happen? When was that moment of, hey, we should do a podcast?
It was me and Graham sitting around one day, and like so we have like our pre-meeting when we play on the zine, and then we have our paste up party with just the quote unquote staff. The 6 of us, Andrew, Nosebleed, Brad, Gordon, me, and Graham, and we're just sitting around like talking about podcasts that we like, and Graham was like, I kind of want to do one. Like, we should do one for Skillshot. I was like, I am so in. Like, that sounds great. I love talking about this stuff. I love listening to podcasts. Like, this is just a no-brainer. And Graham's been in bands for a number of years, so he had a lot of the equipment already. So he's like, I'm like, you handle the tech side. I can handle, like, the volunteer wrangling and the topics, and we can just, build a show together. That's cool. It's been really fun.
That's good. Yeah, well, and I hope, all I can say is I hope it never feels like work to you.
Oh, yeah, no. My entire life, I've worked crappy jobs that don't pay me very much money so that I can do the things I love for free. Like I put my passion into stuff I do for free.
That's awesome. Okay, so let's chat a little bit about this whole, quote, women in pinball. It
Right.
comes up, and people throw that term around a lot. And I have really, since this show started, kind of shied away from the subject because it makes me feel a little bit like I don't want to be the guy drawing the line and making an issue out of anything like that could be, that
Right.
might not be an issue already. I don't want to be the guy, with the line in the sand in front of me. But I get a lot of email about it. I get, anytime something comes up on Pinside or somewhere else on the internet about, women in pinball, everybody forwards it to me like, hey, look at this, because they just think you've got to talk about this. So I mentioned it one of the last episodes, and we chatted, and it's like, hey, perfect. We have somebody heavily into the scene, a woman in pinball. From the horse's mouth, as they say, let's kind of hear in 2015 what you think about being a woman, a lady in pinball, which is still, fairly heavily dominated by participants of the male gender.
I think it's great where I am right now. I'd venture to say that other parts of the country, not so great. I mean, like Seattle area, since we have so many players in general, we also have a heavy like female presence too. But I definitely remember like going to the first expo show and being like, oh yeah, it's a lot of dudes, lots of like smelly guys playing pinball.
Yeah.
Which, whatever, it's fine. Like I have a lot of guy friends too. It doesn't really matter. I'm kind of a tomboy, I guess, in that sense. But when it's 2015 and a game like Whoa Nelly comes out, like for the love of God, like come on, guys.
So
Like,
you see Whoa Nelly, and what do you think?
I think that's the most disgusting idea anyone's ever had. Like, oh man, it's just like the biggest slap in the face to any girl that wants to play pinball. Like, I don't know. It's really, really disappointing because I enjoy Stern games. I enjoy new games. And it's the first original theme in over a decade and you make it about boobs, really? Like, come on.
It did seem to sort of, I definitely heard both sides. I heard your side. I certainly was probably, if I had to choose a side, I would lean towards the I don't need that in my world side. It doesn't really do much. It wasn't, I guess from the people that didn't like it, one of the things I heard over and over again was, it's not just that they're sort of doing the exploitation thing, the joking exploitation. It's just that it wasn't even that funny. It wasn't even really that clever.
It's like the popsicle stick joke of sexuality, Like, it's just not even that clever. Like, the call-outs are really lame. I don't know. I really love 90s era Williams, and you can see all of these, like, references to other games. Like, if you look at Scared Stiff, there's, like, Attack from Mars references on the back glass, like, because they built this world around them that they were proud of. They built this like alternate universe that they crossed over into, like Cyclones and Hurricane, like it just makes it a much cooler place to be. And if you're gonna go out on a limb and do an original theme like that, like bring out something that you're proud of, and that's something that's solid that can appeal to a lot more people than like just the man cave.
Do you think, just in general as an industry, that pinball is just made and marketed for men?
I don't think that, like, all the way. I know that that's who's buying it mostly, though there's plenty of women that have their own games. There's plenty of women that work on their games. But, like, I avoid things like Pinside because I go on there and I see threads like, do you let your wife shop games with her? No, the only shopping my wife does is with my credit card. And she's like, so much misogyny, like dripping on that website. So it just grosses me out.
I try and filter that as much as I can in my life. And I meet some of the people who I think type some of that stuff. And I think it's almost like a schoolyard bully mentality. It's like, I don't even know if some of these people actually believe some of the stuff they say when it comes to sort of the male versus female things that come up. I think they're just doing it to push buttons.
Yeah.
But what happens, and you probably would be right there with me on this, is it just turns people off to the whole thing.
Totally. Yeah. Like, who wants to have a conversation with you with that? Like, oh my goodness. Like, when I first kind of came out with my, I guess, feminist viewpoints on like why I would champion women to play more competitive pinball tournaments and like be a part of the scene, was an article that I called Tea and AC/DC when the Lucy version of AC/DC came out. I was just like, what the hell? Really? Like, it was fine before. Why'd you have to put a half-naked lady on it? You know?
I, I mean, what would you say to someone though that looks at that and goes, "Well, it's a rock and roll band that's singing about half naked ladies.
Sure.
If you don't like it, don't buy it." I mean, does that hold
I
water to you, or?
No, it doesn't, because I'm not in a position to ever own a game, like to ever really buy a new Stern game. They're very expensive. So I would just like to play them, and I don't think that that's necessary all the time. Like, I'm fine with sexuality. That's okay. It should ought to be more equal and less blatant, I guess.
What themes interest you as a pinball fan and player?
I love Attack from Mars. I love Monster Bash. Like, I love theater magic. I love just kind of like fantasy or like magic or like horror themes. Like, I love Walking Dead's great. But just something that's kind of gives you like a universe to think about.
Yeah, yeah, builds a world, so to speak.
Yeah.
I could see that. Do you own any games yourself?
I don't. I sure would love to,
Yeah.
but not at this time.
So is Attack from Mars kind of like the Holy Grail game for you?
For a long time, it was Monster Bash. That was the one that I was playing 5 days a week after my job, and getting all the high scores. But then I realized that Attack from Mars was the exact same game, but with better flow. So
Yeah.
I decided that, yeah, that would probably be the one I would want. But I love Circus Voltaire. I love Cactus Canyon. Like, Funhouse would be a great one to have too.
Yeah. What do you feel like when you play in a large scale tournament? I'm looking at your tournament results on the IFP website,
Oh, yeah.
and like you're playing in some big tournaments. Like, and like you said, one of these, I think it's just a monthly, maybe had like 100 people in it there in Seattle. What's that feel like when you play in a tournament like the Babes in Pinland tournament, which you actually run?
Right.
What's that like playing in like an all women's tournament for you?
It's so much more fun. Like, it kind of just, it's a mix of like competitive and party environment. Like, we're all just having drinks together. People are smoking on the patio. We can smoke weed in Seattle, so a lot of people are doing that.
Oh, they do that there now, don't
Yeah.
they?
Yeah. So it's just kind of like a chill party environment, and girls are in there. They come in for the first time, and they're like, "Oh, I'm not gonna be very good." And I always tell them, like, you don't get any better by not trying. So, like, let's just dive in. And when all said and done, they're at the end of it, everyone's had so much fun. Like, there's never a sore loser there. Even when I'm out, like, if I have a really bad month where I go 3-0 and I'm still stuck there till like 1 or 2 in the morning to run the rest of the tournament, I'm fine with that, because it's just my friends having fun with each other. It's basically just paying an extra $5 to go out and play pinball with your buddies.
All right, so let me play the devil's advocate and play the side that I see people, pop up with. What do you say to the guy who posts, "Oh man, you're just promoting segregation by running an all-female tournament"?
I don't really think so. I feel like most times when you're in any co-ed tournament, it might as well be an all-male tournament, because you look around and there's like one woman to like every 20 guys. So just, you don't feel like you have much of a voice or like it's hard to kind of feel like you're even noticed there, or sometimes you're too noticed. So sure, I mean, guys have come up to me and said like, "Well, I'm going to start my own guys only tournament." I'm like, "Sure, that's every other pinball tournament."
Yeah. I think I try and make the argument, and I hope people understand this point. It's not about saying we want to have like women's only is a major component, and we want to take over pinball or anybody doing women's only tournaments or leagues. It's more saying we're completely marginalized here, whether it be women or anybody else. We're just trying to like carve out our space, and if that keeps happening, at some point it'll be equitable enough that you're just not going to probably see that anymore.
Yeah, and it won't even be a necessary thing. Then we'll just have our own spaces at these places, and it'll just be fine.
Yeah, I think a lot of people kind of miss that point of view of, someone like you who's sort of, carrying the banner, saying, "Hey, come on in, it's great," and a lot of women probably look in and go, "You sure?
Yeah,
Is it?"
right. Yeah, my friend Alexa put out a really good point. She's like, if I had seen if Will and Ellie was the news game when I was getting into pinball, she's like, I probably would have not gotten into pinball if that was like one of the first things that she saw. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a pretty powerful point right there.
Hmm.
That's interesting. What do you feel like? I know you've done some writing about women in pinball and kind of
Hmm.
helped out with that. Like I said, I sort of shy away from it just because I feel like I almost don't want to call attention to it. Tell me why I'm wrong, and tell me why it's good that we see articles like the one we just saw on Bells and Chimes and things of the similar sort that draw attention to it.
If you shy away from things, you will never be as well-rounded of a person as you could be. Like, unless you're given choices, then you're going to stay the way that you are the entire time. So, I mean, read things, get involved. Like, you don't have to be an active participant, but at least be an ear. At least like understand and be an ally.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when I had my ACDC article come out, like one of the first comments was, "Keep your feminism out of my pinball." It's like, what? I'm allowed to say whatever I like, just as you did on my comment page here. Thank you. You know?
That's
So
funny.
I don't know.
I hear some of the stories from different female players, and
Yeah.
not just from you, but from other people, and not just stuff I've ever even talked about on the show, but I hear some pretty. I was playing with a local player who happens to be a woman who plays in some of the local tournaments I play in, and she said to me something that was eerily similar to a story you were telling me through our
Oh
emails
yeah. Hmm.
about somebody trying to win a replay for you.
It feels like the guy trying to win a stuffed animal at the fair. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, like it's okay, darling. Let me get that for you. No. Like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's incredibly
Like,
frustrating.
just a small like side anecdote. So 2, 3 weeks ago was the first time I've changed a tire by myself because every time I try, a guy walks up to me and says, "Let me get that for you."
It's sort of that, and this is where I try and I guess not. I don't know if I'm defending or try and just making sure that all sides see all sides,
Right.
because sometimes I think some of this behavior doesn't come from as much lack of respect or from malice as it might appear to somebody who's of a younger generation, like
Yeah.
younger than me, younger than you, who's
Hmm.
because I gotta say the people that are I think you're a little bit younger than I am,
Yeah, I'm
but
30.
so you're 30. So I think the people 20 to 30 years old today are just much more kind of worldly and aware of
Oh
kind of
yeah.
that sort of thing. Like, hey, don't be like that. Than my generation was, and then the generation that's older than me, and then I think back to like my father who was much older. Some of that's just old school social webs that were set up, and people just
Right.
think, oh, I'm supposed to help the woman do anything
Right.
because that's what you do. Oh, walk across my jacket over the puddle. Like I remember thinking,
Yeah.
but you're gonna ruin your jacket, dude.
Right.
Like,
It's a really hard ship to turn. Like, and it's going to take generations and generations to like wash that out and to have people actually be treated as equals. But, I don't go up to guys when they're washing a dish and say, "Hey, did you want me to show you how to do that better?"
I wish
You
you
know?
would. I wish somebody would
Like,
do that for me. No, I'm kidding. Um, that's funny. Do you? Okay, so talk to me about this. You told me before we got on the air you're headed to Europe
yeah.
tomorrow, and you're
Hmm.
gonna tie some pinball into this otherwise just sort of like European vacation you're going on. Tell me about that.
Definitely. So like last year at the Shorties annual, I met a friend or made a friend from Manchester, and we've talked for the last year. And I quickly like realized that like I, a trip to Europe could become a reality for me, and that I'd been at my job long enough that I could save up my PTO and go for a month and just explore. And saved up and bought a ticket. So first thing I do when I have my date locked in there is like, all right, well, what's Europe got to offer me for pinball? Because that's one of my biggest interests. So let's see what's going on. And right away, I found that the UK pinball party was happening 3 days after I landed in London. So like, of course I have to go to this. Like,
Yeah, that's
there's no
awesome.
way that I would skip that. So I've
And
been.
where's that taking place?
It's at the Highway Pinball Factory in Wales.
Ah, very
So
cool.
near Cardiff. And I haven't seen Kaylee George in a while, so that'd be really cool because he moved out to the Netherlands, so he'll be out there playing. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed that Big Lebowski makes an appearance since they're close enough together.
Oh, that is fairly close.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that'll be awesome. I'd love to. I can't wait to hear your shows after that to see how that
Yeah.
goes. That's gonna be
So
good.
I'm definitely gonna like just do a couple small recordings with people while I'm there, just whoever feels like talking to me, and to have him for the podcast and stuff.
Nice.
Definitely Andrew Highway if I can get some time with him.
Yeah, he
And
good dude, and he's very proud of where they're at
yeah,
with the game right
definitely.
now. Yeah, it's very cool. Full throttle's certainly come a long way.
hmm
Um,
And when I get into London on Thursday, and I'm meeting up with some guys I met on Tilt forums to play pinball at the Pipeline too. So
nice. That's awesome. That's like a great trip report you're going to get for your
yeah.
show out of that. Okay, so talk to me about this. This is a subject that came up sort of in your general vicinity, at least in Washington.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh yes. I haven't talked about it on the show, so we're going to talk about it now.
Neither have we, so this will kill two birds with one stone.
Okay, so Dorky's Arcade. You knew exactly where I was
Yeah.
going.
Yep, I did.
Okay, so Dorky's Arcade. We had a situation occur
Yeah.
a little over a week ago where there was a Black Lives Matter. That's right.
Yeah.
Protest, and I guess this was happening. Was it happening near his arcade, or was the owner?
It's across the
It was
street.
across the street from Dorky's, which is. I've actually not been there. I've tried to go there and missed their hours. I know there are a lot of pinball machines at Dorky's in Tacoma.
There are.
And so the owner was videotaped, I guess, sort of in a yelling match fighting with these protesters.
So he came out with a bullhorn that just played obnoxious music and just danced around and just tried to be disruptive and obnoxious first and foremost. And then he started like getting in people's faces and like getting in their way. And people were kind of shoving him out of the way. Like I got to the point where he dropped the N bomb, and I was like, I can't watch this anymore. This is too hard. But I since like finished watching it, and he just definitely like it was not a proud moment for Les. And I've known him for a number of years, and I really don't think he's racist. I just think he did something really, really stupid and really uncalled for, and something that you can't really forgive someone for, not for a long while.
Yeah.
Like he's gotta bring in the repercussions for that for a while. That was just really unnecessary. And I've like since had a few private conversations with him where I just like, these people are marginalized and oppressed for like so long, and you cannot use that word ever, especially not to the person that's doing a Black Lives Matter protest. Like, this is a cause that I highly support. Like, I've been to Black Lives Matters rallies and like demonstrations. I've marched with people when, Michael Brown got killed and his killer got let off for that. Like, this is something that I support, and like, it's not something that you can just do. You can't say that to someone and think that it's okay. And he kind of growled it at him. Oh, it's just really nasty. It's not a proud moment.
It's really it's not good. I did see it. It's unfortunate, and I think that it's not so much a pinball story. I guess is why I haven't brought it up, other
Right.
than the fact that it's
That
one
he
of
owns a large arcade.
a large arcade with a lot of great games, and it's tough because you have to sort of balance, the love to support pinball with, do I want to support this person who is so,
Right.
kind of viciously attacking something? Almost doesn't matter what the cause is that he's attacking. Just the way
Yeah.
he went about it was pretty unbecoming.
Because I mean, like, I'm having that personal dilemma myself because I was in Dorky's before it was opened. Like, I met Les when we played pinball across the street at a place called Hell's Kitchen, and we were there once a week, and like we just played with each other all the time. And he's like, I'm opening an arcade, and right around that same time, like me and my housemates were trying to open an arcade, and he had already done a lot more of the footwork than we had. So we're like, all right, you go ahead. We'll put some of our games in your place. So like I've had
They're
quite
tied really closely to this.
yeah. Yeah. So,
Um,
I mean, like, I don't wish him ill will, but I definitely need to see like proof of his of a learning experience.
what did you feel the story got out like wide enough that it's going to affect the scene pinball wise there?
I do. It's already like my friend Josh Bartlett has just started doing a weekly at Dorky's, and it was every Tuesday night. And then I think he had done like 6 of them, and then this happened, and he's not doing them anymore there. He pulled out right away. So he's kind of like organizing a smaller fly by the seat of your pants tournament at venues that don't have nearly enough games. And it's definitely going to affect it. Like there's enough people that don't want to be there, don't want to support him. I personally don't want to put money in games for someone like that. And to be honest, like I haven't really felt the need to go down there since I moved from Tacoma. Because, I mean, this might be getting too personal sometimes, but he, on occasion, would get on the microphone and, like, smack talk Seattle players on mic in front of all of his customers when we come down for, like, launch tournaments. And just say, like, Tacoma players are way better than you guys. I don't know why you bother driving down here. And it's just, like, just ribbing kind of. But, like, the amount that he did it was really not funny. So, I mean, they've had their own little, like, internal problems for long enough, but I hope something good comes out of it because it is a cool arcade with a lot of great games, and I don't think Les is a bad person. I think he just made a really bad mistake.
All the drama in Seattle in the pinball scene, it's crazy.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah, there are. It's amazing. I noticed going through your results, you haven't done a lot of like Papa type travel or anything like that. Is that something you want to do that you're interested in, or not?
Yeah.
Not your scene.
I after all the stories of Pinburg coming back to me, I've already decided I'm going to replay FX next year because that sounds like too much fun to miss.
I think that's what a lot of people are thinking. I really believe that.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like my life is, I guess, thirded in between work, punk, and pinball. So like I go to a lot of shows, I do record reviews, I do band interviews, I do writing with 2 other magazines. My life just gets kind of crazy. Sure. And I don't have time to do all the things I want to do. Especially sometimes it's hard to justify traveling out of state to play pinball.
Oh yeah.
But, the last one I went out of state for was the Portland Pinball, and there was 124 players, and I got 17th place out of that. So
that will bump you up in the IFP rankings.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so if I show up in Seattle and I've got one day free, where do I go play pinball?
I would definitely say either Add-A-Ball or Flip Flip.
Add-A-Ball or Flip Flip. Talk about those places.
Add-A-Ball is down in the Fremont area, kind of like northern Seattle, almost. And it's just like, it's kind of that like party atmosphere. Just there's always going to be some guy on the patio like smoking a joint. Like they have a good beer selection. They sell Mad Dog, and then they have like awesome pinball. Like you can play Bad Cats or Star Wars Data East, or we got a Bonsai Run in there recently.
Nice.
It's just like this weird collection of games that everyone just has so much fun on. And the weekly's there on Wednesday. If you're in town on a Wednesday night, go to the Add-A-Ball Weekly where you'll see 50 other pinball players do a 3-strike tournament until 1 or 2 in the morning. And then Flip Flip has just like really quirky games. They used to be, well, they still are a button shop. And the owners had an interest in pinball, Katie and Rex. And so they just decided to reach out to see if they could find someone to op pinball machines there. And my friend Levi has put in 29 games there.
29 games?
Yeah. It's pretty ridiculous.
That's awesome.
There's an upper level, and once you get in there, you're going to be like, how the hell did they get those up there? It's not easy. There's a little gate, and they've rented like a little like hand cranked forklift and just slowly raise the games up onto the upstairs. Wow. But I mean, there's stuff like Flip or NBA Fast Break just left there. But Getaway was there. We've got RoboCop and Earthshaker, Pinbot, like all the Orsler and all the Lawler games are in there.
Nice. Is there still an ice cream parlor with pinball in Seattle, or am I imagining that?
I'm currently wearing their T-shirt.
Plug it. I don't remember the name of the...
Full Tilt.
Full Tilt. Okay, that's very cool.
They're about to open a 5th location.
5th location, ice cream
Yeah.
and pinball. That's
Mm-hmm.
awesome.
I actually used to work there, so
Yeah, very good, very good.
I helped opened up the Ballard store, and I worked in the U District for a while, which the U District's the only one that doesn't have pinball. All the rest of them do. It's too small there.
Do you think that you're a competitive person by nature?
Mm-hmm. I would say so. I don't all the time, but then when I lose, I realize that I am.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I did want to get that. But that's something that I just work on grappling with. It's just, no, I'm doing this for fun. Like, I do sometimes have that mantra, like, you're here for fun, you're here for fun.
But you want to win.
But I want to win, yeah.
That's awesome.
The first one I won was at Seattle Pinball Museum in the International District. I played the B division, and some friends that I was just getting to know, they're like, "You're a sandbagger. What are you doing in the B division?" I was like, "Shut up! I can't play an A. Come on."
Kayla Greet, sandbagger.
Right.
I'm putting you on my list.
Yeah.
Pinburg next year. I'd better not see you in the C or D division.
Oh, come on.
Come on.
We'll see.
Nah.
I don't know. But yeah, I ended up winning that. I got first place in the B division. It was like $40 and 2 tickets to see King Tut exhibit when I was in town.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that was really fun. And I've gotten a 3rd place finish at Seattle Pinball League, and that bumped me up into first place in the rankings 2 years ago, which I held on to for like 5 months. Which, first of all, never has a girl been number one, and second of all, no one has held that title for that long.
That's awesome.
So.
Do you think about that? Like, do you think about being like the best female player?
I sort of started to. Like, I met Julie Gray early on, and she started kind of making kind of side remarks like that, like, "Oh, you're pretty good. Usually I'm the top woman player here." I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I'll keep that in mind." But no, it's not something that's super important to me. I just want to play the best I can. And I don't really feel like I'm playing for an entire gender. I don't think I should be.
No, the weight of the females is on your shoulders.
Yeah, right.
When you go to, so say you go to Papa, let's say you figure that trip out. Mm-hmm. Would you want to see a women's tournament at the Papa facilities at the World Championships?
I think that'd be fun. Yeah, like we're doing one at Northwest Pinball Championships this year, and that's a Papa circuit event.
Yep.
So, I mean, as long as it's not getting in the way of anything and there's someone available to run it, I'd run it. Shoot, I don't care,
When is the Northwest Pinball Championships?
It's the last weekend of August, so the 28th through the 30th.
Cool.
And I run the Babes in Pinland at the Northwest Pinball and Arcade Room show, so I've been doing that for 2 years now. We had 31 players this year. 31,
that's good.
Yeah, as long as it's something that you can work into a schedule, I don't see any reason not to. Like, I don't see any reason not to have like a novice or a kids division too.
See,
Go ahead.
This is how you get to these shows. You promote yourself as, I will run your women's tournament.
Yeah.
Fly me to your show, and I will be the promoter and run it.
Yeah, Bo and Mark, are you listening?
Yes, there you go. There you go. I love it. Well, Kayla, we're gonna call this one a night,
cool.
And I really appreciate you coming on and getting a chat, and hopefully we
sure.
get to play at some point. Maybe I get myself up, see my lovely grandparents, and track you down, and we'll play some pinball in Seattle. But thanks so much for coming on the show tonight.
Yeah, super appreciate being on here. It's great.
All right, so everyone check out the Skillshot podcast and the Skillshot zine. Is it skill-shot.com?
It is, yeah, and we call it the Skillshot Pincast.
I'm sorry. Actually,
separate.
It is the Skillshot Pincast. You're correct. I like it.
Separate ourselves from the herd.
Absolutely. All right, well, thanks very much. Have a good rest of
your
day.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, you too.
Always good to get a fresh perspective on what's going on in pinball. Seattle's representing. That was a lot of fun, so check out the Skillshot zine, the Skillshot Pincast, and apparently we all just need to go check out Seattle because it sounds awesome. Don't let them fool you, though. It rains a lot. So, in any case, thank you guys for listening. Thanks, Kayla, for coming on the show. We will talk to you again real soon.